Welcome back to Live at the Loft, talking skincare here, but we have some bigger matters to attend to, not the least of which here with Linda Saggua.
Yes, very good.
Who is a noted channel and a very interesting person. You know, Linda, we kind of set up how you started this, and you sort of answered one of my first questions, which would have been, when these beings/entities want to come to us, what is it that they want to teach? And you kind of said about being happy. But let's talk about that. I think any of us can recall either seeing on television or being involved in conversations where they talk about people that are very wealthy and they're still not happy. Kind of elaborate on this whole happiness definition from your perspective.
Well, I think that the way we're raised, particularly in Western society, is to believe that happiness is out there. And that means that it's tied to a goal. It's a relationship, it's an event, it's an achievement, it's something out there, it's something outside of ourselves. So happiness becomes a pursuit, not something that you're empowered to create. It lies outside of you, kind of like, you know, a lot of people feel like God lies outside of themselves. So essentially you put all of your personal power outside of yourself, and you cannot be happy until that, whatever your ego has told you that is, happens.
That makes sense.
And then you get that, and then what happens when you get there?
You're still
reaching for something else.
You're still sitting there with your stuff, right?
Yeah.
Because your stuff is going to follow you no matter if you get there or there or there. So happiness becomes like a pursuit. It's a star on the horizon, and you can never reach it. And the beautiful thing is that authentic happiness is something that you're not only empowered to create, but you're responsible for creating it. And the first place you start in getting happy is really getting to know yourself. You cannot be happy unless you know who you are. Because if you have no idea who you are a stranger to yourself. And you will be constantly trying to fill that void by getting that, whatever it is out there.
Job, that money,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. And really, when we make our happiness about that out there, it's like turning our happy keys over to a drunk driver. And saying, you know, you go ahead, you drive, and you know what, whenever you get me there to there, that destination, then I'll be cool. But until then, I'm just a victim, and I can't do anything about it. And you know, and I am powerless. And isn't it sad? Isn't it sad that I'm here, living without me, living in my void, living in my victimization? I was there. I mean, I'm not lecturing to people. I was there. And I was a master manifester. So you're here not just to manifest, and a lot of that has to do with the law of attraction. That is a universal law. What you think about is often what you get. But we're here to do so much more than manifest. We're here to evolve our soul. And when you wake up and you say, I'm really unhappy, it's typically because you're getting this invitation to learn these grand life lessons that allow you to connect on a deeper level with your own soul and evolve, not just in the physical realm, but in the ethereal dimensions as well.
Okay, let me back you up, because I know that there has to be someone else that has this question pop up. Whenever we talk about material things and the pursuits of happiness outside of ourselves and what real happiness is, automatically there's a temptation to say, great, I'm gonna have to put on some scary robe and go live in a mountain and eat the same thing every day. It's gonna be boring and I won't get to shop.
No.
Okay.
You get to do whatever you want to do, and you don't need to dig a hole and live in Tibet or, you know, be in a cave or join a monastery. What you need to do, what I learned, and I think it's one of the most valuable places to start, is you need to follow the 5 principles of happiness. You got to realize happiness doesn't happen. Happiness is a practice. Like yoga, like brushing your teeth, like brushing your dog. Happiness is a way you take care of yourself and others. Because when you're happy, when I'm happy, what happens to you?
Well, I feel happy.
Yeah, it's like a domino tipping over. And if you're happy, then the other domino goes. So Michael will say when energy shifts, energy shifts. If I can shift myself into authentically happy energy, then you're going to be able to shift there more easily as well. So the 5 principles of happiness are the baseline of this book that was completely channeled called The Toolkit for Happiness. And there's a lot more stuff in it. But the 5 principles support not only manifestation, but they support the evolution of your soul. And they are very, very simple tenets. Number 1, be conscious. And we talk about consciousness in all these abstract terms, but all consciousness is just simply being aware of what you're doing and how you're feeling. I am doing an interview right now. I am feeling connected and embraced. Isn't that wonderful? So my next conscious decision says, I think I'll stay here because that makes me happy. Because a happy life is built one conscious decision after another. Principle number 2 is honor your feelings. Once you've located your feelings, honor them. I choose to stay.
If there was something odd and peculiar, would honoring your feelings have to be in some cases removing yourself from a situation and really honoring that? I mean, is that part of the deal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you love yourself. Happiness is about loving oneself and making one conscious decision after another. Step number 3, principle number 3, and this sounds really simple on the surface, which it is, but it's not simplistic. You get profound results because these principles build one on top of another. Mm-hmm. Principle number 3 is that we're just here to create what works. We're not here to discuss right and wrong. We're here to co-create what works. And co-creating what works is the discussion that keeps humanity connected now and forever, because what works is always changing.